Safer Internet Day, celebrated worldwide on 11th February. Together for a Better Internet is the theme for 2025. The objective of this day is to raise awareness about internet safety. Central government takes a major step, launches National Public Medicine Distribution Campaign. Medicines will be delivered door to door for the elimination of filariasis. India launches its first indigenous automated biomedical waste treatment rig. Srijanam is the name of the rig. It was inaugurated at AIIMS in New Delhi. Cyclone Military Exercise 2025 begins. The exercise is being held at the Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan. It is a joint military exercise between India and Egypt. Corruption Perceptions Index 2024 released. India ranks 96th out of 180 countries. Denmark remains the least corrupt country. Recently on 11th February, Safer Internet Day was celebrated worldwide. This day is celebrated every year on the second Tuesday of February. The purpose of celebrating this day is to raise awareness about internet security. The theme for 2025 for this day is Together for a Better Internet. On this occasion, Instagram took a step towards internet security by launching the Teen Accounts initiative in India. These accounts had previously been launched in the US, UK, Canada and Australia before India. The objective of Teen Accounts is to protect teenagers from negative content and to limit their interactions with strangers. Teen accounts require new followers to seek permission. Only those people whom they follow can tag them on these accounts. These accounts are also shielded from sensitive content. It is noteworthy that these accounts also limit the time spent on the app. For users under the age of 16 on Instagram, parental consent will be required to make changes in settings. For information, Safer Internet Day began in 2004 as part of the European Union's Safer Borders Project initiative and was adopted by the InSafe network of awareness centers. Recently, a national mass drug administration campaign was launched to eliminate lymphatic filariasis. The campaign was initiated by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare through video conferencing. It is notable that 13 states identified with lymphatic filariasis are part of this campaign. Under this campaign, 111 affected districts in these states will be included, where medicines will be administered for filariasis prevention door to door. It is known that lymphatic filariasis is also referred to as elephantiasis. This is a severe debilitating disease caused by parasitic worms called filaria. The disease is transmitted through the bite of the Culex mosquito, which thrives in polluted water. The infection usually occurs in childhood, affecting the lymphatic system. It can lead to physical disabilities such as lymphedema, which is swelling of the limb. This is priority disease with the goal of eliminating it by 2027. For information, 90% of this disease's contribution in India comes from 8 states. These states include Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Currently, no vaccine is available for it. Recently, Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh launched India's first indigenous automated biomedical waste treatment rig at AIIMS, New Delhi. It is named Srijanam. Notably, this rig, developed by the National Institute for Interdisciplinary Science and Technology, is the first of its kind in the country. It marks a significant advancement in India's healthcare waste management efforts. This device is designed to disinfect pathogenic biomedical waste such as blood, urine, sputum, and laboratory disposables. Unlike traditional energy-consuming rigs, Srijanam provides an eco-friendly solution for biomedical waste management by neutralizing odors and providing a pleasant fragrance. The system can manage 400 kilograms of biomedical waste per day. It is capable of processing 10 kilograms of biodegradable waste per day in its initial phase. This innovation will bring a significant change in the treatment of biomedical waste, especially in healthcare facilities like hospitals. In the treatment of public health-related waste, the Srijanam rig is a revolutionary and transformative step. Notably, this innovation will help reduce dependence on expensive and harmful traditional waste disposal methods. A team of scientists from the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai is planning to send fruit flies into space via Gaganyaan-1. The aim of this initiative is to study the effects of space's harsh environment on living organisms. It is noteworthy that fruit flies are significant model organisms in scientific research. Their life cycle is short, making it easier to conduct generational studies. It is important to note that the Gaganyaan mission is India's first human spaceflight program, being developed by the Indian Space Research Organization. 3 space missions will be sent into orbit under this mission. Out of these 3 missions, 2 will be unmanned, while 1 will be a manned mission. The mission will orbit the Earth at an altitude of 300 to 400 km in low Earth orbit for 5 to 7 days. As for ISRO, it is India's national space agency. It was established on 15th August 1969. The headquarters of ISRO is located in Bangalore. The main objective of ISRO is to develop space technology. Notably, ISRO launched its first satellite Aryabhatta in 1975. ISRO has made significant contributions in the fields of communications, remote sensing, navigation, and space science. Recently, US President Donald Trump signed an executive order to rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. 9th February has been declared Gulf of America Day. The aim of renaming the Gulf of Mexico is to recognize the historical role of the Gulf in American trade and development. Notably, this order was signed by Trump during his visit to New Orleans aboard Air Force One. The US President urged Americans to celebrate the day with activities and events. The US Coast Guard has started using the term Gulf of America in its official communications. It is worth mentioning that the Gulf of America includes areas bordering Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Mexico, and Cuba. Historically, this Gulf region has been important for American trade, development, and economic growth. This Gulf region extends to the American continental shelf and stretches to the maritime boundaries of Mexico and Cuba. The Gulf of America is an oceanic basin and marginal sea of the Atlantic Ocean. As a result of plate tectonics, this Gulf came into existence almost 300 million years ago. Recently, Switzerland and Liechtenstein have increased pressure on India regarding a bilateral investment treaty. This move comes after the European Free Trade Association countries signed a trade agreement with India last year. This agreement included a commitment of $100 billion in investment over the next 15 years. A BIT is an agreement between two countries that determines the rules and conditions for private investment by the citizens and companies of one state in the other state. Its aim is to promote and protect foreign private investment. It is noteworthy that EFTA is a group of 4 European countries, including Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland, which works parallel to the European Union. It is a regional trade organization established to promote free trade and economic integration among non-EU countries. EFTA countries negotiate trade agreements independently of the European Union. The EFTA focuses on reducing trade barriers, promoting economic cooperation, and ensuring market access. It has signed several free trade agreements with countries worldwide. Recently, the India Energy Week 2025 conference was held. It took place from 11th to 14th February at Yashobhoomi in New Delhi. The conference was conducted under the supervision of the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. The India Energy Week event provides a platform for international energy companies to engage with all aspects of energy. The conference focused on the themes of energy security transition, resilience, innovation, and digital advancement. During the event, the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana was also showcased. It is noteworthy that the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana is a flagship scheme of the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. It was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 1st May 2016 from Balia, Uttar Pradesh. Its goal is to provide clean cooking fuel like LPG to rural and disadvantaged families. This scheme targets families that use wood, coal, and cow dung cakes for cooking, which has a negative impact on the health of women in rural areas. For information, the India Energy Week event was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi through a virtual medium. On this occasion, the Prime Minister stated that the 21st century belongs to India, and India is becoming a partner in the growth of the world along with its own growth. He also mentioned that India's energy sector is playing a major role in this field. Recently, the World Government Summit 2025 was held in Dubai. The theme of this summit was Shaping Future Governments. It is noteworthy that this summit took place from 12th to 14th February. With record international participation, several topics were discussed during this summit, including work, education, mobility, AI, gender balance, and topics focused on government services. India's Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupendra Yadav, also participated in this summit. In his discussion, the Indian Minister highlighted green development and climate resilience. Additionally, he participated in a high-level roundtable on the future of mobility and the XDG 2045 Ministerial Roundtable. At this summit, India focused on clean technology, electric vehicles, and climate-resilient infrastructure for sustainable development. In another discussion, OPEC's Secretary General Haytham Al-Ghais highlighted the investment needs for the oil sector to meet increasing demand. It is worth mentioning that OPEC stands for the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. It is a permanent intergovernmental organization. This organization was established by Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela at the Baghdad Conference on 10 to 14 September 1960. The purpose of OPEC is to coordinate and unify petroleum policies among member countries to ensure fair and stable prices for petroleum producers. Recently, India and Egypt have started a joint military exercise named Cyclone 2025. This exercise is being held at the Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan. The aim of this exercise is to enhance defense cooperation between India and Egypt by sharing professional skills and improving the interoperability of special forces in desert environment. Notably, this exercise will run from 10th February to 23rd February for a duration of 14 days. This exercise is held alternatively every year between India and Egypt. The joint military exercise will focus on counter-terrorism operations, raids, and other specialized missions. Additionally, special skills such as marksmanship, pre-fall, surveillance, and target designation will also be included in this exercise. It is worth noting that the Indian Army contingent is represented by personnel from the Parachute Regiment. The Egyptian contingent includes Egypt's Commando Squadron and Egypt's Airborne Platoon. For information, this is the third edition of the Cyclone exercise, which will strengthen military relations between India and Egypt. This exercise highlights both countries' mutual interest in enhancing security cooperation, combating terrorism, and increasing military preparedness. Recently, Transparency International has released the Corruption Perceptions Index 2024. In this, India has secured the 96th position with 38 points. This index measures over 80 countries and regions based on the perceived levels of corruption in their public sector. It is noteworthy that the Corruption Perceptions Index ranks countries on a scale of 0 to 100, where 0 means highly corrupt and 100 means completely free of corruption. Looking at the situation of India's neighboring countries, Pakistan ranks 135th, Sri Lanka 121st, Bangladesh 149th, and China stands at 76th. Denmark remains at the top position in the index, followed by Finland and Singapore. Notably, according to the Corruption Perceptions Index 2024, the global average score remains steady at 43. Meanwhile, more than two-thirds of the countries have a score below 50. Since 2012, 32 countries have improved their corruption levels, while 148 countries have either remained stable or worsened. Transparency International is a global organization that works against corruption in more than 100 countries. Its aim is to address issues that directly affect public life and promote transparency and integrity in public life. That's all for now in this bulletin. After the news, let's take a look at 5 questions related to the bulletin. First question. Consider the following statements regarding Safer Internet Day 2025. 1. This day is celebrated on the last Tuesday of February every year. 2. The theme for this year is Together for a Better Internet. 3. This day was initiated in 2005. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Second question. Consider the following statements regarding lymphatic filariasis. 1. It is a serious debilitating disease. 2. It is also known as elephantiasis. 3. It is caused by the parasitic worms called filaria. How many of the above statements are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Third question. Consider the following statements regarding the military exercise Cyclone 2025. 1. This joint military exercise is conducted between India and Iran. 2. It is being held at the Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan. 3. It is an annual military exercise which is held only in India. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Fourth question. Consider the following statements regarding the Corruption Perceptions Index 2024. 1. This index is published by Transparency International. 2. India has secured the 96th position with 38 points. 3. Finland is ranked first in the index as the least corrupt country. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Fifth question. Consider the following statements regarding the World Government Summit 2025. 1. The summit was held in Paris. 2. The theme of the summit is Shaping the Future of Governments. 3. India was represented by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change at the summit. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. That's all for now in this bulletin. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Drishti IAS English and Hindi YouTube channels. But before we go, let's take a look at some small yet important news. Recently, large reserves of potash has been discovered in the southwestern part of Punjab. These reserves have been found in the areas of Kabarwala in Sri Muktsar Sahib and Sherwala, Ramsar, Dalmir Khera and Fazilka district. It is noteworthy that the potash mineral is located at a depth of approximately 450 meters and it will be extracted using a drilling system, which means no land acquisitions will be acquired and there will be no impact on farmers' land. Currently, India imports approximately 5 million tons of potash annually. The utilization of these reserves will reduce the dependence on imports and generate new employment opportunities with the development of related industries. Recently, an Indian origin cow, Vitina 19 FIV, was sold at an auction in Brazil for 40 crore rupees. With this sale, it became the most expensive cow in the world. According to reports, Vitina 19 weighs around 1,101 kg, which is twice the average weight of other Nellore breed cows. In addition to setting a world record, Vitina 19 also won the Miss South America title at the Champion of the World competition held in Texas. This cow belongs to the Ongole breed, known in Brazil as Nellore. Cows of this breed are famous for their high-quality meat and milk production. Recently, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, National Coordinated Integrated Pest Management Research Institute, celebrated its 37th Foundation Day on 12 February 2025. On this occasion, Dr. R.S. Faroda, former Secretary and Director General of ICAR, was the chief guest. Established in 1988, ICAR NRI-IPM has been a leader in the field of crop protection and integrated pest management. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research is the premier organization for agricultural research, education, and extension activities in India, working under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. The objective of ICAR is to promote research and development in various areas of agriculture. Recently, the Odisha government has started the process of making its legislature paperless. As part of this initiative, a digital house has been inaugurated in the Odisha Legislative Assembly, which is a part of the National e-Vidhan application project. The main objective of this project is to reduce paper usage and increase transparency in the legislative process. It is noteworthy that this was inaugurated by Odisha's Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi. For the first time, the budget session 2025-26 will be presented in paperless mode. It is important to mention that this initiative is part of the National e-Vidhan application project developed by the National Informatics Center. On 13th February, National Women's Day was celebrated. It is celebrated on the birth anniversary of freedom fighter Sarojini Naidu, who was born on 13th February 1879 in Hyderabad. After the partition of Bengal in 1905, she joined the Indian National Movement. In 1925, she became the first female president of the Indian National Congress. After India's independence, she was appointed as the first female governor of the United Provinces, now Uttar Pradesh. Besides politics, Sarojini Naidu was also active in literature. Some of her notable works include The Golden Threshold and The Broken Wing. Recently, the US Senate has appointed Tulsi Gabbard as the National Intelligence Director. She was selected by US President Donald Trump as the 14th member of this role. As director, Gabbard will oversee 18 intelligence agencies, including the CIA, FBI, and National Security Agency. Tulsi Gabbard is a former military officer and was previously a member of the US Congress from the Democratic Party. After leaving the Democratic Party in 2022, she joined the Republican Party. Notably, she had served as a congresswoman 4 times from the Democratic Party. Recently, ISRO and IIT Madras jointly developed an indigenous semiconductor chip. This indigenous semiconductor chip has been developed from the Shakti processor baseline. It will be used in information technology and computer systems. This development is a significant step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat in the field of space technologies. It is noteworthy that India has launched the India Semiconductor Mission to promote the semiconductor industry. Semiconductors are materials that are neither fully conductive nor fully insulating. They behave between these two properties, meaning their electrical conductivity changes depending on the environment and conditions. Recently, Aero India 2025 was held at the Indian Air Force Station in Yelahanka, Bengaluru from 10th to 14th February. This year's theme is Runway to a Billion Opportunities, which promotes international cooperation and highlights advancements in defense technology. The event aims to promote international defense cooperation and showcase new defense technologies. It is noteworthy that Aero India, which started as a small aviation show in 1996, has now become one of the largest defense events in the world. Notably, for the first time, the two most advanced fighter jets, the Russian Su-57 and the American F-35, were included in this exhibition. That's all in today's session. See you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.